Welcome everybody to the Evil Ewok podcast. You guys already have the emojis out. I'm Zach, and we're with Kat and Alex as usual. The whole band back together. How are you guys doing on this fine post-Mandalorian episode 2 night?
Dealing with tooth pain. I got Invisalign, peeps, and it is the worst thing ever. Well, at least for me it is, because I have wussy teeth. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Alice seems like she can empathize with you, Alex.
Aww,
Yeah, I'm
Alex.
having a shit day too, Alice. We're one today. The Mercury's in retrograde.
Is it?
I don't know. That's just something that you know those zodiac people say. It's like, oh, that's why bad shit's happening, because
It's the cosmos.
Jupiter is moving slower than usual. So just remember that. And I'm like, oh, I think that makes sense. Yes.
That has a lot to do with my week.
A lot of bearing. Yeah. It's like the
Does
electromagnetic fields are off. So your decision making is off. So you're being yourself. It's like, oh, that's a good excuse for not doing work today. Okay.
Does it make you feel better about yourself?
That me and Alice are died in the forest?
No,
or
that
oh.
your pain is because of an astral body.
It's a good cop out for actually like diagnosing what is actually going on with you. So I would say yes, copium is a very strong way to manipulate people into believing things, for sure. For sure.
That's a freaking dragon emoji, but I think they might be using that as the mythosaur emoji.
Oh my god! You know what's funny? Like when I was watching that episode of the Manda, she's like, "Is that a dragon?" So like basically,
oh my god,
yeah,
that's so funny.
Pretty much.
Like, whoa, is that a dragon? And I'm like, in a way, yeah.
Did you tell her the tales of the mythosaurs?
Yes, and then we rewinded and to the part that she was missing because she just wasn't paying attention or something. She's like, "Wait, what was that?" And it's like, "Wait, so is that where they tamed it?" I'm like, "No. This is supposed to be like the lair of like where it was, and like they didn't see it, and it's only like a legend. And now they saw it, and it's like a whole thing." And they're like, "Oh, so are the waters mystic and magic now?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
TBD. Wait, that brings me to a question, because somebody commented that only Bo saw it. Maybe do you guys think Din saw it too, or like what's she gonna do now? Like the ball's in her court because she has been like poo-pooing the myth this whole time and been like, this is child's play, this is fantasy, and now she actually saw it. But is she gonna like tell people? Like, is she converted? Or do you think she'll keep it secret, keep it safe?
I think this is based off of the look she was giving Din when he was walking into the water. I think she's not as in she's gonna go full Children of the Watch and never take off her helmet, but I do think that she's come around to believe that Din might be the figure that her people need to rally around, and I think she was moved by his devotion to Mandalore, and I think that A, he's got the Darksaber, and B, he just got quote unquote chosen, if you can look at it that way, by the freaking mythosaur. So I think that if she's into symbols, I mean, what else do you need? I think this is going to be a turning point for her, and I think she's going to support Din, hopefully, going forward.
I think this episode kind of really compartmentalized Bo into like an area of like redemption from like all the past failures, right? Because it showed that she's I guess in a way, if you want to interpret it that way, worthy with the Darksaber. I don't know if that's what the point was, or if it's just that she kind of knows how to distribute the weight better. I actually don't necessarily completely understand the magic behind the Darksaber, if it really is magic or it's literally just you have to understand how to use it the right way. But from my perspective, if the goal was to symbolically represent her as like the new like Mandalore, like the new head Mandalorian or whatever, right? This was kind of an episode that highlighted her as like the savior of her people, right? After the destruction and failures of her past. This is kind of like going to be her redemption arc, right? And that's kind of where it's all leading. In terms of like her seeing it and then leaving, I wonder if she just like doesn't even tell him.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't see it that way at all. I see it as her realizing that she can't be the one to lead them because she's tried for all these years and it hasn't worked. And I don't think she thinks anything's. I mean, that's why she quit. She's
gonna like groom Din.
I think she's gonna be his Gandalf or whatever.
She just like makes a staff and grows a beard. And
Yeah.
then we're like, wow, this is like oddly.
They were really on the nose with this.
Yeah.
But I do think, me personally, I think I agree with Alice here. For whatever reason, I always liked Bo-Katan, but I loved her in this episode, and I would be really disappointed if she turned around and didn't tell Din about the mythosaur and tried to be really sneaky about this whole experience. I'd be super disappointed because I love the direction she's seemingly going, and I
was
want
like
to
old
see
Bo,
more.
for sure.
Yeah.
It was great. I thought she was fantastic in this episode.
She's been like the highlight of the season so far. Granted, it's fresh. It's only 2 episodes in, but
the whole season.
Well, we're Star Wars fans. We need to like get started like in the feels, and we need to like just be hurting in whatever way, right? Every show it started off brutally, only to kind of bore us all the way until the end, right? So I guess we'll see how this season progresses. Hold on. Oh, I hate that. I was about to sneeze.
No, Alex, I hate watching that happen to you. Oh my god,
it hurts.
Damn it, Alex.
I
like
hate
mad
the
at me.
satisfaction. I am, because that's the worst feeling ever. And I was waiting for it. I was about to be so satisfied.
It's like that feeling afterwards is like, I've seen the light.
Oh goodness.
I've seen Jesus. So I don't need to see anything else, right? And when it gets held in, it's like, you know, that you're not letting the demons out. For sure. It'll come up. It'll come up again. I promise you, it'll come up again.
Next episode, they're gonna see Sid from Mission in Mandalorian.
Oh god.
Ooh, I would be so upset.
Zach would cease to exist.
Yeah, I like this too, Charlie. I think there's something, I don't know, it's, call me like a sucker for a reluctant hero, but I really love I love how she was so annoyed with him showing up again, only to be like, in an instant, oh my god, like what happened to him? I need to go help him. I thought that was really, it was cool. It shows that, I mean, Bo-Katan, she's always a little rough around the edges, but she's gonna come through for you when you need it.
I mean, if Grogu showed up in a speeder all
That's
sad,
true.
would
That's true.
you ever say no? Get the fuck out of here, right? You would legitimately be on board with whatever he needed, because just look at him, right? He's adorable.
The
like,
little
Bubba, did you drive her up by yourself first?
The little noise he made too.
I know, he was
like,
so desperate. You can't blame her though. Like I admittedly was like a little bit jarred when she was like, let's get rid of him once and for all. I was like, is that a threat? Like, what does that mean? But then she expressed, you know, her true, she doesn't mean violence. She's not gonna like physically beat him up till he leaves her planet. But I can relate to like, I don't know if I can relate, but I think we can all like empathize for how she's feeling. She's not in the wrong for being like in her feels, and I think it makes her situation even harder. That, like, you know how it's harder for you to be angry at someone who's just likable. You know, like I'd be pissed. Yes, if I was hunting down the Darksaber, I explicitly laid out instructions for everybody and said, back off of Moff Gideon, he is mine, and then didn't freaking like went against that whole thing, takes what I've been looking for this entire time that was seemingly unreachable, and now he has it, and you just want to be angry at that person and be like, F you. But he's so nice. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's harder to be angry at somebody. Like, she probably just wants to hate him so much, but she can't. Because
she just wants to hate everything, but it's also just not in her nature anymore.
Exactly.
At this point. Like, it's easier to love than it is to hate, right?
Exactly.
Too much effort. And Alice, I promise you, I was going for a cute nerd vibe too, but I could not find my blue light glasses, so I'm sorry.
Thank you,
Apologies.
Alice. You know
I would
what?
have been
I'm
much
the
cuter, though.
standout nerd today. I was feeling self-conscious about it because I like never wear the glasses in videos or live streams. So as I was logging in, I was like, I really hope Zach or Alex have glasses when I've never seen either of them wear glasses.
When we both have like great vision and we would never ever wear glasses.
Rebellions are
Unless it's
built
blue
on
light.
hope.
Rebellions are built on- You know, we just need, whenever a cat has her glasses on, we just need to have like a little hashtag in like the top left corner. It's like hashtag nerdcat, or
Yeah.
and everyone's just like
Nerd
on
cat.
board with nerdcat. Yeah, it's just like a
We'll
completely
have
different
a
person. It's like Superman. She's just
yeah.
completely different.
We'll have a cute nerd stream someday, chat. We'll all wear our glasses.
Oh my goodness.
From a technical standpoint, the Darksaber belongs to Bo now. The Geonosian grievous-looking creature subdued Din. It took his weapon from him. Then Bo vanquished the creature, but whatever.
Yeah, this one's very nuanced. I'm seeing a lot of debate about this. What do you guys think?
Well, that's why I was also gonna say, does any of that even matter? Or is it just all like superstition, right? Or is there actual magic behind the Darksaber, right? Like that was a question that I always had, because I don't know if necessarily like Bo would have been able to do what she did if she wasn't worthy. Obviously, it's pointing to that she is worthy, but I don't know if everything that happened meant that she was the one that was worthy of holding it at that time when she vanquished the person who stole it from the person who was technically worthy. So I was just like doing mental gymnastics there, and I was really confused about the whole thing. But
I just think it's because she had it for a while and she knew how to use it.
that's what I was going to say. It's more of like a
Yeah.
understanding how it's distributed rather than an actual magic thing that only certain people know how to, or certain people have the access to use based off of whether or not they vanquish, only the strong survive kind of mantra, right?
Yeah, plus I just don't know if if it were me, I don't even know if I would want it under those circumstances. It's almost like a cheap shot to just be like, oh, there it is. I'm going to take it back.
Technically, it's mine now.
Well, actually,
right.
Din
But I
represents
took that as a
everything.
sign she like clearly gave it back to Din. I take it as a sign, like if she really was as hell bent on getting it back as she was where we saw her like in season 2, I could see a part of her being like, I'm just gonna take it. This is my time. This is my opportunity. But I think they made a specific point to show that she gave it back to him. Like, I think, does she even want it? Like, she might just be tapped out. Like, I don't even know if she would want it anymore, even if it weren't under those circumstances,
Mm. Yeah.
I just find the Darksaber so fascinating because, like you said, Alex, is there an aura of mysticism surrounding it? Because it really does seem like if you don't win it legitimately, you are cursed and something bad happens. But at the same time, it must be a difficult weapon to wield if Din's having such trouble with it. We know that Pre Vizsla was pretty good with it. He was able to fight Maul for a while and Obi-Wan. So I tend to think it's not so much mysticism as it is just, I don't know. It's
Technical know-how.
technical
right?
know-how, but also I
Yeah.
think it's just a powerful symbol, and that's where
Yeah.
its power lies. It is the symbolism.
So people get scared of it and they don't know how to use it because they're scared of it. No, I'm just kidding. But what up, X-Wing? Welcome, dude.
I didn't recognize you, X-Wing, with
I
that
know.
new logo.
I
Looking
know. I'm
fresh.
trying to figure out whether or not I like it. I'm still thinking about it.
Jury's out.
Yeah.
Jury's still out.
But yes, rare Disney Star Wars win. I think it's been a good couple weeks so far.
It
Star
has
Wars.
been.
Yeah, like we've been. I don't know. I felt pretty good so far with where Star Wars is headed. Not from like the background news about all the shit that's going down with stuff being canceled and whatnot, and writers not being paid, whatever. Like that's all different. But like when we're actually talking about the content that is being made and that we are watching, I've been a happy camper so far, and let's hope that trend continues. Right.
What's up, Colin? Welcome back.
Chewbacca and Daisy. Woo! Welcome. And just so you guys are aware, I'm actually really happy because I've been bedridden all day, chat, because of my fucking Invisalign. So now that they're out and I'm not wearing them just for this pod, I'm like full of life. I have all this energy. I'm happy, and then I'm gonna be sedated right after the stream by putting them back in. So I got to get it all out now.
We're gonna put him back in the back to tank.
Yeah,
After this,
dude. If I could just just cryogenically freeze for like a month, and then like come out and like I don't even feel it, and my teeth are straight, that would just be great.
You've
well,
been
if you-
bedridden.
If you were cryogenically frozen, wouldn't your teeth stop? Like nothing would move, so you'd wake up and you'd be in the same state.
No. Just from the neck, just from the neck down. But it was, but there'd be a tube like sedating my brain, so I'm not awake or some shit. I don't know.
You've really thought this through.
Yeah.
I can tell you've been
the entire
bedridden.
morning. The entire fucking morning. I'm like, can I just like do this faster instead of 8 months of this shit?
How do we expedite this?
Yeah.
This is only
Look
8
minty
months.
fresh,
Braces
bro.
is 2 years.
Teeth look minty fresh, bro. I just got them too. They're not gonna work that fast. But yeah, I mean, for the record, I've had braces. I just talked to Kat about this. I've just never worn my retainer. So I got Invisalign to fix the crowding below for cleaning purposes and for, the obvious aesthetic purposes, but it's been a fucking pain.
Did you literally just get them like today or yesterday?
I got them yesterday and I couldn't sleep last night at all. So I took the bottom ones out and just fucking took NyQuil to like try to sedate myself, put them back in, and then put an ice pack wrapped around my face, like thinking that I wasn't gonna fall asleep. And then I fell asleep and I had fucking burns underneath my chin from the fucking ice pack.
You gave yourself like frostbite.
Yeah,
Oh
underneath my chin. And
God.
I was like, that's such a dumb idea. I did not think I was gonna fall asleep, but
What's up, Serena?
Sedated. Now you got that song stuck in my head.
try some back to yes, X-Wing. And sorry for not sending you the goodnight text anymore, man. There's someone else out there named Y-Wing, and we're getting pretty serious, so my apologies. Yeah.
Drama. Y'all heard it here first.
Figured
I
I'd tell
really
you.
hope when the scene happens with Bo-Katan and the armor, the same shot from the trailer, they address if she's Rook cast or not.
Oh.
What have you
Wait,
got
we
there?
know there's going to be a scene between the two of them? Am I just stupid?
I don't think so. Not for sure. There has to be. I'm really jonesing to see them in the same scene, though.
Because, like, here's the thing. She's his eyewitness. Like, as to the fact that he went in the waters, you think he's gonna bring her back with him and be like, you're my backup. Like, I need you to attest to the fact that I did this.
That's what I was saying. Exactly.
It's proof.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I was like, what does he have to like take pictures of himself bathing in the mines? I think I said that during the stream. I was
like bring proof. When I
Yeah.
first heard that, I'm like, so is someone gonna go with him? And no one went with him, so there's no one to like. I guess it's just like a I trust you. So like, why didn't he just say he already did it? I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess
that
they
would
have
be
more honor
honorable.
than that. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
more honor than that. They're
What if
Mandalorian.
We
she-
would have taken the easy way out.
Yeah.
she's like, what do the mines look like? And he's like, they're
They're miney.
underground and it's dark and
There's like a river of water. And I'd put my body in it and bathed. And then there's like a sigil of Mandalore, and yeah. She's like, you have been to Mandalore.
spoken like
So
a
you are-
true Mandalorian.
You are a Mandalorian yet again. I'm getting kind of sick of that, to be honest. I want that whole I want that all to just stop. I'm kind of.
I think it is. It's done. Like, that's what I want to ask you guys. Like, what the F is happening now for the rest of the season? Because as far as I was concerned, this was the main objective. And it's over and done with. Where are we? What do we stand for? What's left? What's left? Like, where's this going?
Time to unite the clans. I think we're gonna start getting momentum going on this whole. Because I feel like what Bo realizes is that Din isn't just content to bounty hunt and live like a rat in the sewers and just staying afloat like the rest of the Mandalorians. It feels like he has, like he said, our people are lost like stars in the galaxy or whatever, or scattered or whatever. So I think they're gonna work together and try to reestablish Mandalore, which I am hyped for.
I need to ask you all this question because apparently the seeds have been planted. Do we ship Bo plus Din?
I'd ship it. I'd ship it. I'd ship it.
I'm okay with it. I don't have any problems.
If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm also fine
Yeah,
with that.
I mean, the baby went to mom to save dad.
Whoa.
That's probably where it's headed.
I loved how he pointed at the screen.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, let's talk about the fact that the trailers that we saw, we've already seen like 85 to maybe even 90% of all the
Ooh,
footage
yeah.
that was in it. So there's so much that we have yet to see, obviously, or even hint
Coruscant.
at, which is going to be really cool. Yeah, so it's Coruscant, Grogu, and then the one line that we see, that one
Oh yes,
pilot.
what's his name?
I
Paul? Is that the actor's name? Am I just totally
Paul. I think the actor's name is Paul.
Yeah.
Paul Hyun
Yes.
Soo, yeah, from
Yeah.
Kim's Convenience. Yeah, fucking love that guy. He's amazing.
Grogu and the Mythosaur also saw him bathe. He just needs to call the Mythosaur as witness to the stand.
They just he's just like in like a really crowded seat. He's like, so you, Mythosaur, you claim you have seen him bathe in the waters of Mandalore. It just doesn't say anything. They're like, he has spoken.
It says yes.
They have like a translator. They have like someone who understands Mythosaur for something, like that one person in the galaxy that understands Mythosaur.
It's a dead language.
You think it's on Duolingo?
Mythosaurian.
Theory, what if the Mythosaur gave Tar Vizsla a crystal for the Darksaber if he conquered one in a fight, and they're keepers of the crystals for the Darksaber or something? I don't know.
That seems like a lot.
I'm curious to. It brings up an interesting question: how intelligent the Mythosaurs are. Are they just as smart as us, or are they kind of just one of those like intelligent where they're in tune with the Force or something like that? Or
I don't know, but can we just admit Kat has the best background? Alex is decent, and Zach's is sad.
I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do about it, and it sucks because it's basically the same setup he had. Or no, the setup at the other house was a little different.
Yeah, the room's too wide.
Yeah, and it's all good. It's all good. It's the same quality of commentary out of Zach, no matter what his background.
Yeah.
I have to compensate with my excellent commentary.
Yeah.
We don't judge. We don't judge.
We can just say whatever. Me and Kat can just say whatever and say nonsense. It's like actually talking about Star Wars.
I do miss who had the plant. Was it Alex's plant?
Alex's plant.
It's that one right there.
Oh,
yeah, it's right there.
It's the
same
still
one.
there. Oh,
Yeah.
you gotta put a spotlight on it.
I mean, it's on the. It kind of is. It's just it's hard to really pick up depth when I'm the focal point, right?
When the camera just loves me.
I'd rather.
No, I mean, like if it's like me. It'd be funny if I was just completely out of focus and like the plant is just like in focus. It just looked. So
oh, you're the focal point, are you? There you go. There you go, Chief.
What's up, peeps? You're on the Evil Ewok podcast.
I feel like I can see the plant a little better now. Is that it? Is that what I'm looking at? And didn't Zach have a lamp?
I did have a lamp.
Zach's wall light. There we go. Whoa.
There we go.
Yeah.
I feel safer now.
Yeah. I need to be further away.
Put pictures of Sid in the mirror.
Battle of Jakku that happens around this time period. I believe the Battle of Jakku is in the past at this point, though. It happens about a year after Return of the Jedi, and we're pretty past that now. Hashtag Bodin.
Yeah, because by the time we get to Rey, everything's just like washed up and scavenged. So it would have to be like a significant amount of time that passed.
Maybe Sid.
We're getting pretty damn close to the sequels.
We're still we're like 25 years plus from the sequels, dude.
25 plus? I thought it was like 20.
I was like,
wait, what timeline are we actually in?
We're like probably 3-ish years after Return of the Jedi. Maybe a little more than that.
Didn't they say we were at like 10?
No.
Oh. Who
And
knows
then
the
the-
timeline? Fuck. I don't
Nobody.
even know. I don't
They've
even
been
know how
so
much time has
vague.
passed. I'm so curious.
Don't even open this can of worms, Alex. Grogu was with Luke allegedly for 2 years, and that threw the fandom into a frenzy. So, who knows what's going on?
Are Mandalorians allowed to have a relationship? I think so. I don't think there's anything against it.
It's probably hard if you're the children of the Watch, though. Don't tell me they kiss through their helmets.
I have a dead body. That's good enough. Where is he? Oh, yeah, you can see him back there. Right
Mr.
there.
Bones.
Mr. Bones.
It's actually a dead human. Like,
Yeah, it's a
not
dead
like
human.
Yeah.
It's a cadaver I stole from the lab.
Yeah. I mean, well, we're just gonna say that for now, but we all know what really happened.
I think
Anyway.
Grogu will speak for the first time. He's
I
already
would
spoken.
agree.
He says, "Pato." He goes, "Pato." Pato.
He did that in the second season. What season are we in? We're in the third season, right?
Yeah.
He said that like briefly in the second season. Like,
Pato.
that's like his favorite thing to say. Pato.
He's definitely like more vocal and energetic. Certainly.
Yeah.
I think
He's
will
getting
speak.
older. He's getting over his awkward phase.
Did a race car just like zip?
There's a lot of like expensive sports cars that just fucking race up.
Sounded like NASCAR outside
Yeah.
when you're
Alex is at the Indy 500
Yeah, my apartment's literally at the Indy 500.
in the middle.
He's like, you guys want to see? There's just like fucking constant race cars. It's like, how do you sleep?
Well, when you're bedridden, you have a lot of time to fall asleep.
True. Does that say 6? Yeah, 6 ABY. Okay.
Aftermath. Terrible book.
We're 6-7 years after Return of the Jedi.
Again, they're not clear on it. I know it's definitely like we're definitely past the Battle of Jakku. I think the show started when we were like 3, right? I think episode 1 of season 1 was maybe 3 years after, and then they're just not very clear on how much time has passed, which is irritating.
That's kind of the problem right now with Star Wars. If we are going to talk about a problem, the content is fun and it feels good, but in terms of what's happening and what time period is a little bit of a blur right now. So I guess we'll see.
Anything else on Mandalorian? You guys want to switch to the bad bitch?
Yeah, I think we can.
Hold on. I did have one more thing, but I don't know if I'm going to remember it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Anything else, chat? You want to talk about Mando? Any discussion? Any hot takes?
Oh, what would you give it? What would you give the episode on a scale from 1 to 10?
Definitely like an 8. It's definitely up
I was
there.
gonna say 8.5.
I'd go 8.5.
Let's go. I don't know if Zach and I have ever landed on the same verdict.
There's always like
Look at
one or
us.
two. There's a what is it? What's the math term? It's like a
Quadratic equation.
when you have like the
Circumference.
What?
no, dude. It's like the
mean.
No. You have the
Median.
move on, dude. Move on.
Alex's brain is fried. Ooh.
I just haven't-
Anyone says 7. Alice gives it 100. I can't click on the comment.
3,000,
90,000.
9,000, 9 million, 900 million.
Let's go.
8. Oh, he's up to a 7.5. Stanley's is a 9. Charlie Hep's a 90K.
Wait, Serena can answer my question. Okay, so it's like the graph that you see where it has like one end of the data and the other end of the data, and it's like a fucking I forget what that graph is called.
Slope?
And then you have like the different like subsections of that data set, and like each data set's a different. God, what the fuck is it called?
I clocked out of math.
Serena,
many
for the
years
love of God.
ago.
Bar chart.
No, and it's not a
Line
bell
chart.
curve. It's
Somebody smarter than a YouTuber Oh, I was gonna say I need Tom. I'm sure he's watching.
I'm like terrible at explaining it,
Yes,
Tom.
he says bell curve.
It's not bell curve though. It's something else. It's like and then like the subset of the data you have. You say you are one to the left or one to the right, but one something to the left.
Scatter plot.
No, not a line graph. Okay, just drop it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
No, you don't understand. Now none of us are gonna sleep tonight, Alex.
fucking
Okay.
bad.
I'm gonna look it up and then
You
I can
son
tell.
of a bitch.
I'm gonna leave it in the comment section. After everyone likes and comments in the stream, I'm gonna leave it in the comment section for all of you to look at it in your own leisure.
Please
Just give
like
us
and
a-
definitely comment if you know the answer, because now
Yes.
I need this. First, you don't give me the satisfaction of your goddamn
Pythagoras
sneeze.
theorem. Everyone's
And
just
now-
like throwing out math terms now.
Factoring, elimination.
Anything.
Yes. It's a neural distribution graph. But what is like the But what are like the little data points that you say? Oh God. Never mind. I don't even know why I'm still going into it.
Correlation.
Everyone is so confused.
But anyway, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already.
Midichlorians, that's the answer.
Midichlorians.
Boom. Got it.
Master, what are midichlorians? It's heroin.
As he's like shooting himself.
Whoa, cat is frozen.
It's like, how do you think we can use the force? Oh, cat's frozen. It's like, how do you
Cat-
think we're able to like see all this shit happen and lift shit? We're all fucking high as shit.
Oh my god, that was crazy. Charlie with that thumbs up.
Here, I'll kick Cat for now so she can rejoin.
Do you know who that was? That person that was streaming with us? I don't know who that
No,
was.
I don't know. She just kind of showed up and she had glasses. I'm like, who the fuck is this person?
Just a stray cat. Ba-dum.
Boom.
Ah.
No, not parameters. Like it's like a parameter, but when you're referring to the data, it's like it's something to the left, something to the right of this data point with something of fuck.
Can we just enough of the math stuff? This is insane. We've still like 10 minutes on math.
It's okay. We can move on.
Yeah, let's
anything
move
else?
on.
Anything else with Mando? We all good?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Bad Batch, episode 12. What
The
did you
Bad
guys
Batch.
think? It was a crosshair episode, finally.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Problem solved. Standard deviation. Yes.
Never would have guessed.
It's all solved. I feel good now. I feel happy. Thank you, Serena. Well, what would I do without you? You've earned God.
Talking about math. That's what we'd still be doing.
You've earned God status. Same with Charlie. Same with Alice. Same with Sal. Same with everyone here. You're all amazing.
Goat tier.
Fulcrum is losing his status because he doesn't show up all the time like he used to.
Fulcrum's been AWOL.
Yeah, he's too busy on other streams commenting lewd stuff on other streams and not our
Giving
stream.
them memes to go off of.
Yeah, like creating their content for them and not for us. It makes me really sad. It's like, come on, Fulcrum.
I remember Tom and I were doing a Battlefront stream. This might have been over like a year ago at this point, and I think Fulcrum happened to get linked into our lobby for Heroes vs. Villains, and he was just absolutely poning us the whole time, I think. And I was like, Fulcrum! He was like, I think
the real takeaway from this is that Kat used the word pwn, so she's a gamer, guys.
Funniest word to me. Pwn. I love it.
Pwn, noobs. Get out, noob.
Does anyone even still use that word?
Re-Q, noob.
You just did. You're bringing it back.
Bringing it back, reviving it.
We should do a gaming stream.
R.I.P. Mayday. Stop. That's...
Yeah,
How is it that we meet a clone and like 20 minutes later I'm like broken after their death? Like,
I know, right? Like it was like one of those episodes where you're going into it, you're like, okay, they're gonna be stranded, this isn't gonna be fun, but yet because of the way it was done and because of like you being able to dig into like Crosshair, who's like probably the best character there, it was just one of the best episodes ever of Bad Batch, right? And it just proves that like he is such a great character, and there's so much there, so much depth there to really unpack. And seeing him struggle with not only like his allegiance to the Empire, but also his allegiance to himself and his clones and what he values was very powerful there, right? And it's kind of something that everyone can relate to one way or another, whether it's your boss that's an asshole, or whoever manages you is an asshole, or like the corporations or whatever. Like there's just a lot of parallels there in real life, and I think that Bad Batch kind of strays far from that, and goes too closely to just creating a cartoon for kids that everyone enjoys, right? And this kind of dove into a lot of adult themes, aside from just the fact that it was like tragic at the very end, right? And you finally got to see Crosshair being like, dude, I ain't gonna follow your motherfucking orders anymore. Go fuck yourself.
Hashtag
He just
done.
did it.
Yeah, I especially feel bad for him because he went from being like literally top dog at work to now like the bottom of the totem pole, now that they're, I guess, starting to ease in human recruits, right? It seems like the plan has been enacted, and the new lieutenant, was that the rank, who was in
Who's
charge?
never led anyone, which is like so
Yeah.
emblematic of like almost every manager anywhere. Or any you know what I mean? Like any service industry job you've ever had, most of the time, you know, they
He
don't know how to manage
was
people, and they've never really done the dirty work.
so insufferable. I was literally so glad when Crosshair finished him. Like, the part of me that was like, hang in there, don't do it because you're gonna get arrested or whatever. But as soon as he did it, I was like, you know what? Thank gosh. I needed that.
I want to say this delicately because I liked the episode. I didn't love the episode though. And I think my reason for it is that it just didn't feel, I don't know, it didn't resonate with me as much because we've only seen Crosshair once this season. So it felt really
Problem, I agree.
sudden, where it's like if we had seen him 2 more times, or if we'd been intercutting this whole season and we'd seen his progression more so than just 2 episodes worth of him, I think it would have been more impactful. It just felt like they kind of took a shortcut with it and tried to cram a bunch of um, it's kind of like when in Loki he watches the events that took place for his parallel universe self and experiences character development like really quickly. It just didn't feel as organic, I suppose, as it could have. But it's not to say it was bad. I think it was pretty well done, and I'm happy with it as an episode. I just didn't love it as much as it seems other people do.
That's fair.
I think that argument is valid because a lot of the trend of this show is a lot of filler, and then when we get to the good stuff, it's really fast, right? And if they would have just kind of filled up those episodes exploring kind of the topics that did hit and were well done, it would have made those points hit way harder, right? Like with Cody, with Crosshair, there's just a lot they could have done to extend those moments and to make a multiple episodes instead of it being a racing episode or having anything with Sid in it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these are the moments that I think are really powerful in this era, and exploring the clones was something that I've always wanted to see, right? And the fact that we're finally getting it, even though it is whatever we get, I accept, and it's amazing, right? It would have been nice if we got a little bit more though to kind of build up those moments and make them more special when we actually do get to them, right? But I think them seeing the like armor that they didn't get, even though they were sitting there watching the crates of armor for like a year, and they had like raggedy armor that they were defending, that they couldn't have just like swapped out for newer armor, right? And they weren't getting any of the requests fulfilled by the Empire because really they don't give a shit about them, and they know that they can manipulate them to do whatever they want because they programmed them that way. And it's like really sad to see, because now it's like diving into the idea of what is real life and what isn't real life, kind of like what those AI, what like Ex Machina kind of dives into, and a lot of those other cool what's the TV show, Black Mirror, like the shows that kind of dive into those kinds of concepts where you kind of question sentience and like what qualifies as real life, right? And here the Empire just sees them as clones, right? But inside they feel like they're people. They just are accelerated people, and they think they have loyalty towards their brothers, right? So it's like they're like, it really blurs the lines of what is a determining factor of being sentient and being of value to just normal everyday human who's born from another human, right? So I love that kind of stuff, and this is something that I wish we could have seen way sooner. We're on episode 12, right? So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's only going to get better from here so far. Last episode was great. Episode before was amazing. And we really got to get to the nitty gritty to see whether or not there's going to be a third season or what show they're going to tie into next with this. But
Yeah, I feel like to harken off of one of your earlier points, if they had imagine this is what I would have done as a writer. I would have had Crosshair go to this snow planet earlier in the season and basically be left to rot there with Mayday, and then you can have, I don't know, an episode where he's fighting off the Raiders, or an episode where they get stranded or whatever. You have like multiple episodes dealing with Crosshair feeling neglected on this ice planet. And then finally in this episode, it all comes to a head and Mayday dies. Crosshair realizes they literally don't care about me at all. He kills the lieutenant. And I feel like that's more impactful because we've been on this journey with Crosshair. Whereas it felt like we just checked in at the end of the movie and watched the climax of a movie, and we missed out on a lot of the development and what he went through. And again, it wasn't bad by any means. It was fine. It was good even, but I can't help but think it could have been done more powerfully if given more time, instead of going to the freaking races with Sid, or going and being helping children free themselves from a freaking dude taking advantage of them. Like, I'd rather see a Crosshair episode, or at least intercut with Crosshair, you know?
Yeah, intercutting is something
Right.
they could have done really well. I agree. Having their lives be parallel in a way, even though they're so far apart, like that's something that could have been
Mhm.
a cool little thing. Crosshair equals Snoke.
Oh goodness.
Crosshair equals Mike Pence.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's the real theory.
what do you think? Somebody asked earlier, what do you think they're doing with him at the end of that episode?
Ugh, I'm scared. This is also the other reason I do not disagree with you guys. I do think, I've been saying it the whole season, where is effing Crosshair? He's the most dynamic, and I think they've established him to be the best character in this show, in terms of character development and just potential for an arc. So I too was like, it's about dang time, but now I'm just like, is this the last of Crosshair in his normal state that we're going to be getting? Like, are they about to hypnotize him to be one of these just servants of the Empire who goes out and literally assassinates like other ex-clones now, who I'm sure are going to be like rioting, maybe having some uprisings? Like, is he going to be manipulated to be like the clone that we saw in the mid-season climax on Coruscant? And that made me pissed. Like, you're telling me we haven't had Crosshair this entire season, and now we're losing him? Like, it's the equivalent of, not the equivalent of if they killed him off, but I'm scared if that's the direction it is going. It's like he's not going to be the same character.
Yeah.
Character.
And I honestly,
You got it.
to be honest with you, if that's the direction they go, I don't like that, because we said this back when he revealed that he chose to serve the Empire, and he wasn't programmed to do it. I think it's way more interesting that way when it's his choice, and I'm upset that phase didn't last very long. If they're just gonna forcibly turn him into I don't know, like did anybody see Black Widow, whatever, Taskmaster, how Taskmaster was like just subservient killing machine who doesn't really think for them? Like, if they're gonna do that, that's not interesting, because we've seen that formula so many times in so many different things, where it's like, oh, it's not the bad guy's fault because he's not making this decision, he's being mind controlled. Like, I don't like that. That's so tropey, and it's been done a million times. I don't want to see it. I don't care if it's a prototype Death Trooper or whatever, Dark Trooper. I'd rather serve character over lore at this point. Ideally, you do both, but if you're giving me a choice, I'd rather serve Crosshair's character more so than setting up the Dark Troopers.
Well, it's also like, I wouldn't mind that necessarily if it wasn't already the best developed character in the show. Like, please don't take the best most dynamic character and brainwash him to just to the point where he's not making his own decisions and his arc is just pretty much solidified. Because also, like, how the heck do you get pulled out of that deep of a brainwashing, right? Like, it's not like, oh, the Bad Batch is gonna save him and take him out of it. Like he would be programmed to be a literal weapon who can't think for himself and has no free will. And like, it's just
it's like the cool thing about what the current situation they're in is it's proving that no matter how much mind control they still have their own free will at the end of the day, making them more human than they thought they were, right? And that's kind of the cool idea behind it, right? So if it's just like, oh, they can just take them and really do it this time, do it the right way, that's just really dumb, right? I think that this is something where it should lead to rebellion and maybe the Emperor kind of miscalculating, right? Because he does that all the time. It would make sense that he would miscalculate the fact that clones could revolt and turn into a rebellion and could actually be a threat. So I think that could be something that could be interesting to explore. Maybe in the third season of Bad Batch we get that. I don't know. But as far as like what they're doing, I can't even for the faintest, like I can't even hypothesize what I think is going to happen. But I feel like it's a good thing. I had like a weird inkling that it was a good thing what was happening. Like maybe she's like not on completely on the side of what the Empire is doing, and she's trying to do something else. I don't know. I was getting like a weird, like alternative feeling, but that might just be me.
No, I'm actually glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, she doesn't seem malicious, and also I feel like if they weren't going to fully brainwash him and completely reprogram him, he would have
already been done.
Changed, right? Like they wouldn't let him wake up in the middle, you know, like. So I agree with you. I didn't want to like give myself hope, but I'm glad I wasn't the only one picking up on like maybe it's not horrible.
It's gonna be horrible. I hate to tell you, what they're gonna do is they're gonna brainwash him and they're gonna send him after the Bad Batch to get.
Oh no!
For Nala, for
yeah, exactly. That's what's gonna happen. That's absolutely what's gonna happen.
No.
Or it's gonna be something where he turns on them to save Omega, but then it's like, what would be the purpose of saving like Omega and all them, and letting them escape because we don't see them anymore? So where do they go? Like, there's all that to explore. It's like I feel like they all have to die at some point, right? There has to be something.
The whole Bad Batch.
I don't know. Like I can't imagine them not wanting to join the rebellion, right? Like if they survived.
I did want to say, if they can just brainwash clones into being completely subservient, like straight up good soldiers follow all orders, why aren't they just doing that then? Because clones are objectively superior soldiers than stormtroopers, and unless it's an expense thing. I guess it's probably an expense thing. It's probably expensive to keep churning out clones, but at least for the time being, wouldn't you want all your clones to be still working for you while you train your stormtrooper?
I think it's like a hubris thing. I think they're just like, they're inferior. We could do better. Get rid of them all. I don't get no expense. Like he doesn't spare expenses, dude. The motherfucker built 2 Death Stars and continued to fight while the second one wasn't even paid off yet, right? So it was like, I don't know. Like I don't know where to really go with it in that regard. And I also I'm a little confused in terms of like the cloning that they're trying to control, right? If they're trying to control the cloning, then why don't they continue with the clone program? So what is it that they're trying to clone? Like the Zilla Beast, is that something that that's the whole purpose of the cloning technology? What are they trying to clone now? If it's not soldiers, what is it, right? And I guess that's the ultimate question. Like, why wouldn't they want to continue with it if they're objectively or subjectively far superior to stormtroopers? Because I really don't think it's an expense thing. I think they legitimately believe that if they can train, like they see humans who aren't like created in a lab as superior, and that they can be better soldiers, and they can be more loyal and they can follow orders better for some reason. I don't know. I guess that those are the questions that have to be answered, right?
Yeah, I think it would be interesting if Rampart had expressed almost jealousy that the clones and kind of a threat. Like it's kind of the same thing with like artificial intelligence and us, how we're a little nervous about it because we feel like it could be superior to us and it could replace us. It'd be one thing if Rampart there was subtext where you could read between the lines and realize, oh, he's scared of the clones. But it just seems like he's, like you said, like, the clones aren't better than us. Let's usher them out of here.
We should
Um,
clip that.
The sass.
I'm Admiral Rampart, and I don't care about anything.
Like, what was his name? I don't remember. I only remember for the four very oddly specific numbers that are assigned to him.
CT, blah 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 blah. No, but yeah, like you know what I mean. I think that could have been interesting.
Yeah.
We just haven't really. I feel like they haven't explained the reasoning behind getting the clones out of there, as well as they could have.
Yeah,
What is,
perhaps it could come
like-
down to a reliability thing, like the circumstances through which the clones, you know, because originally they were technically fighting for the, you know, the Jedi or whatnot, or not the Jedi, y'all know what I mean, the Republic.
Democracy!
Right. So, like, that's when they were all, like, the good guys, you know? Like, the circumstances, they didn't join the Empire, per se, willingly. And many of them were starting to snap out of it and recognize how far they have fallen from what they initially, you know, were getting into versus human recruits, regular people who willingly want to join the Empire. It's like, you know, you can guarantee loyalty in that circumstance versus the clones have kind of deviated from their initial circumstance. I don't know.
But
Their initial purpose.
I would
Yeah.
disagree in that I think it's unfair to normal humans. I think it's unfair to just for the Empire or for
We're actually
at least
in the Matrix. Look behind me.
for the writers to basically say, well, the stormtroopers are just going to obey every order. Like humans, like we think critically. Like there are examples of stormtroopers in canon who have refused to do things that the Empire wanted and
That's
then
true.
ditched. So I don't think that's a justifiable reason because the clones were literally designed to follow orders. Like they're conditioned to be more susceptible to orders. I wish they had a better explanation for this because I know that the stormtroopers are kind of just the faceless footmen of the Empire in the movies and whatnot, but it's just not very realistic. Like, in fact, having all different kinds of humans in your army is going to lead to all different kinds of
Problems
opinions and problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just interesting to think about.
Yeah, and I don't think like Serena was making a statement about cost and everything. It's like, yeah, I agree with that, but they're also fighting for control for it. So it's like if they're going to rebuild the facility, then it's not an expense thing anymore. It's just control. But they also kind of saw something in like the clones aren't of value to them anymore for whatever reason too. Like you just said, and I'm like I want all these questions to be answered by the end, and if they're not, it's going to be very confusing.
Yeah, Colin.
Because otherwise, yeah, later, Colin. Otherwise, it's just kind of like Palp's just like, I don't know. I don't feel like doing clones anymore. Let's just do something else. Like, I don't care if it's inferior or it doesn't work out. We can afford to do it.
There's still not been a confirmation of season 3, correct?
Not that I've heard.
No.
Do you think we would even get one before the series is over, or season rather? Or would they follow? Like, when did we even learn that season 2 was confirmed? I feel like we knew there was going to be a season 2 before season 1
wasn't
finale.
It like
even
significantly after? Because I didn't know how it was performing.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I don't think we found out till like several months later. Actually, you're right. Oh my gosh, it's just been so long. But ooh, that makes me.
So maybe at like the concept stage right now, where they're just like thinking about where it would go.
Yeah.
You do know most people across the galaxy that became stormtroopers joined because they were most likely uneducated folk that wanted to get work and get out world. That's true. Well, not most of them, but some of them definitely. But that doesn't mean that doesn't make you a bad person who's willing to do whatever the Empire wants. Like there's plenty of uneducated people who have good hearts and do the right thing.
You're also like, very prone for manipulation in that regard too.
Yeah,
though, so.
True. But we've seen also like people like Tala, like she's an amazing person who it's like, how the heck did you ever work for the Empire? And she clearly states like, I joined under the presumption that it was something that it isn't. Like there's so much propaganda, you know, people joining the Empire probably don't realize how hideous it is. But I do love that the Bad Batch here is tapping into, it's not afraid or holding back from addressing some of the same, you know, new angles that we saw in Andor. Like Andor was very like, holy smokes, this is the worst that we've ever seen. Like the Empire, and the Bad Batch
Yeah.
is definitely. Oh no, am I frozen again?
No,
No. Oh good.
You're here.
I think
I can see
Alex
you
is
just fine.
being very still, so I got scared.
Alex is speaking without using his mouth.
I panicked. But yeah,
Did I lag
so
a little bit or something?
You're still
Is that what's
frozen.
happening?
you're just frozen. A very like angry looking face. I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah, you look like you want to rob me or something.
I know. I need a screenshot of this.
Oh, you're back.
Oh wait,
Because
there
I'm
you
brown?
are. There you are.
No, because you're glaring at me like you want to rob me.
You gotta go back and watch and see what your face was
Okay,
frozen as.
I will. That's so funny. Hopefully, I'm not a black screen this entire time. That'd be so funny.
No.
But yes, Charlie, I saw there was a Bad Batch panel, so they probably are going to announce the third season or
Oh, you're
release a trailer. So
right. I
Good
forgot
luck
about
getting into the panels, everybody who's going. That was an experience I did not enjoy when I went
that.
there.
yeah, unless you have a girlfriend who's super on top of it and will stay up late or wake up early for that shit, don't do it. It's such a struggle to try
Everybody get
to these
yourselves an
panels.
Amanda.
Yeah, just hire Amanda to do all of your planning for you. She'll do it.
Hi, Randall. What's up, brother?
What up, Randall Perkins?
Hi.
Welcome.
There's 16 people watching and only 6
Oh.
likes. That
Wow,
math does
guys.
not check out. Come on, standard deviation.
Yes.
Alice doing
Use the normal
the Lord's
distribution
work.
graph. And we are 3 deviations to the left from what the normal distribution curve is pointing to. And what we need to do is get more towards kind of the average, which would be in the middle. So if we could just get up to like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, maybe even the higher deviations, and we'll see.
We need that graph going up on the slope like that.
Yeah, just like you know how like when something's successful on a curve, it's going upwards. So let's just like keep that trend going upwards with likes and stuff.
There are
That's
16
important.
likes. Are there? We'll see about that.
I feel like she
No.
just did that for us.
Yeah,
She
she's
just
plugging.
did that to get us talking.
There's
She's
8
plugging.
You
likes.
genius marketer, Alice. You work for some marketing company or something?
Alice.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, before Andor, I thought it was
There's like 1,000
completely
likes on it now. We're like, how
possible-
did that happen?
Alice, you genius. On a macro
Oh my
scale, the
God.
Empire provided shelter, safety, some justice, while the micro is tyranny, but Andor explored more of that. So good. Yeah, I really loved how Andor portrayed the Empire. It's probably my favorite portrayal of the Empire, period.
Well, micro is tyranny, but Andor's for more of that. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
There's only 7 now on my screen. Well, Australian likes must be worth half of an American like.
Yeah, the
roughly
conversion
half.
rate. The conversion rate's pretty rough over there in Australia, so I understand.
What even
Or-
is Australian currency?
The
I
Australian
think
dollar,
it's just dollars, yeah, Australian
but it's
dollars.
different. I think our currency is still more valuable, but
What
the
does the
pound is worth
Australian
more.
No, I thought
dollar-
we passed the pound, or did it pass us
No.
again?
It passes again.
Damn it!
I mean, we keep printing money. What the fuck did you expect?
We'll get you
I call-
someday,
you know-
pound.
You know what I call these? Fun coupons. That's literally what the treasury is doing right
Dang,
now.
Australian money is so colorful. Why can't we have this? Sorry, I'm just.
Cat just like moves to Australia. I love your guys' currency. Did anyone
That's
like?
the only reason I'm
You
here.
guys understand?
It's
It's
so
amazing.
aesthetic.
Look at it. I can just like keep it in my purse. Look at it. Look at it just sitting there, all pretty like.
The only marketing I do is for you guys. It's my volunteer work. Well, we appreciate that very much, Alice, and that's why you're our queen.
Amazing.
Do you use that for your tax as a tax write-off, Alice? You do volunteer work?
That'd be so funny.
It just looks Evil Ewok podcast. They're just like, what the fuck is that? Everyone else's money is way cooler. Yeah, it is. It is pretty colorful everywhere else, isn't it? We just have one color. The euro, the pound, they're all different colors. And then is yen? Are yen a bunch of different colors?
I don't know. But
Fuck yeah.
I know we're a little up against it, but we've still got the Bob Iger
Oh, yeah.
thing. Let me pull that up.
The Shroot Buck, yes, true. That's worth a lot more.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, Alex, because I know Zach and I I think we knew this was coming, right? This is no different from what we were kind of getting prepared for in regards to.
It's very related to what we were talking about in past streams, but Disney being very careful with Star Wars movie development, CEO Bob Iger says.
Marvel
so
brand.
Skip
Wait, what does that mean? Marvel brand not inherently off, as in like they're on par with what they should be doing?
Yeah, he means that there's not been a dip in quality. Apparently, that's what he's saying. Which
dude, Marvel's
disagree
been
with.
shit, bro. Marvel's awful. Holy shit.
Okay, whoa.
Bro.
Alex is unfiltered.
Marvel's the worst fucking thing ever.
He's in a fugue state, everybody.
Don't at me. I have to put my Invisalign on after this, so I'm fuming.
Oh god.
Okay, as far as Star Wars, Iger said disappointing box office returns in 2018 for Solo, so they're still blaming Solo.
No.
One of 2 standalone films integrated among 3 saga installments gave us pause in terms of the future pipeline. Executives determined that maybe the cadence was a little too aggressive, he added. Disney is still developing Star Wars films, Iger continued, but we're going to make sure when we make one, it's the right one, so we're being very careful here.
No.
That's pretty much all he says about
See, what
that.
I hear from that is that they think, oh, the style and formula of Solo steer away from when Solo is so effing good. I'm sorry. Continue. Keep going. That's my takeaway, is that they think Solo is inherently and structurally bad when it's, to me, one of the best, like, just sorry. Just keep going.
No. While I don't share I think Solo's fine. I don't share your like lofty opinion of it. I don't blame it. I blame The Last Jedi. Like I think they're placing blame in their own spot. But also, I think this is a little hypocritical of Disney to look at one movie that didn't perform very well and basically cut off the pipeline for Star Wars movies, whereas Marvel has had movies in the past that didn't perform very well, like Thor: The Dark World. It didn't blow anybody away at the box office. So why didn't you pause? Like, why aren't you pausing Marvel movies then? Like, why is Star Wars getting this treatment because one movie didn't perform very well?
Genuine question. I mean this like actually curious, because I feel like I wasn't as participatory in the Marvel fandom at the time, or at least not fully aware of what was happening. But did, like, for example, a poor performing movie like Thor: The Dark World create as significant of a rift within the Marvel fandom at the time as, like, for example, The Last Jedi? Like, I feel like The Last Jedi literally ripped this fandom wide open, versus I feel like Marvel fandom is always intact because they always just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, but it's again, it's why it's so frustrating to hear him blame Solo again. Like, we're 5 years past that, and you're still blaming Solo. Like, it's okay, dude.
It proves that like he saw like that problem a long time ago, and like didn't even look at anything new or even advance his opinion or form a new opinion. He just kind of he's just kind of going right back to the same thing that he's always been doing. Right? It feels kind of lazy. From reading it, it feels a little bit of a lazy response. Like he really doesn't know what to say, so that's just what he's going to say because that's what he's heard, that's what he's seen in the past. So he's just going to keep blaming that and kind of go forward. But I do like the idea of quality over quantity. But I just don't know if that means that like they're going to drop money. They're not going to drop money the same way, or they're not going to see it as valuable. They just got to do the right kind of thing. It doesn't matter how much money they put into it because it's still going to make money. Because they're probably going to look at Kenobi and think, oh, well, that made money. Let's just do that same thing because it didn't cost us a whole lot. So let's just do that. Right. And like, I guess we'll see. But I think if they're going to make something for the theaters, it's going to look as good as it should for the theaters. Now, 100%. I will disagree, though. Like when I saw Ant-Man, just from like the VFX alone, right? Like it did not look like a blockbuster film. Right. There's a lot of things that were like very lackluster and very, very like they didn't do quality control there. Right. Like I feel like they're spread too thin. There's not enough people monitoring. There's not enough people like actually going in and taking like the little mishaps they do and fixing them, right? Like it's not going through enough departments, or they're just greenlighting way too fast, right? So I'm worried that they're just going to do the same shit for Star Wars, right? And yeah, I don't know if they're going to do the quality control that they need to.
It's just, it would have been different if he had come out and he said, look, we know the sequels could have been handled better. We're just being cautious. We want to make sure we put out the best possible Star Wars film. I would be more on board with that approach because then it's a recognition of we literally can't go into another movie and develop it the way we develop the sequels, because that's why Solo failed. I mean, A, Solo wasn't going to kill it anyways because nobody was really jonesing for that movie. But B, you had it come out in the wake of probably the biggest backlash, or the most backlash that this fandom has ever seen. So of course it's going to fail. But if he had just been cognizant and accepting of that in his statement, I would have given Disney props for being
There's
like,
no
look,
way they're looking at it from a fan's perspective, though, right? Like
No.
only us, like are seeing this, like and seeing like the actual answer, whereas they're just seeing it from like a number and
Yeah.
the board meeting perspective,
Yeah,
right? And it's really
realistically,
irritating because this proves there's a big disconnect. Like they literally are not even looking into the actual issue and just repeating old issues that were already addressed that really aren't the real issues here, right? And it's
I
irritating for
I
sure.
wonder though, from their perspective, like they're not wrong. The sequels performed so well uh at the box office. They were freaking dominating when they were happening, and from their perspective, like if you're just looking at it from an analytics slash revenue base, it's like, yeah, like there's nothing wrong about that. Like, are we just, yeah, they're not on Twitter all the time seeing like the absolute just like hate and disdain that people spew at each other whenever the sequels arise in conversation online. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I forget sometimes that like we're just in a microcosm of the fandom versus like I wonder what is the general just actual fandom's entire, like what is the consensus? Because for them, for the people who aren't on Twitter and they're just looking at it from the analytics perspective, it's like, yeah, these performed well at the box office, so people must like them. So it's like, are we just in a microcosm? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, The Rise of Skywalker still made over $1 billion somehow, but
A
it
billion? Oh
yeah,
my
but
god.
it was half of what The Force Awakens made. So by the end of the trilogy, they
Oh.
they'd made half of what they were making at the start. Which, I mean, naturally with any trilogy, you tend to lose money with each installment, but half is pretty significant to
I
me.
did not know that was
Especially
the
if it's supposed to be the
difference.
epic conclusion to the first one that everyone kind of enjoyed, right?
To
And
all 9 of them, it was supposed to be, yeah, it was supposed to be the saga
yeah, oh
conclusion.
yeah, they marketed it as like the end of the Skywalker. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Maybe that's what was the big draw there, right? Why they actually made $1 billion in the first place.
In
Because they're
their
like,
defense, the major leaks, I mean, do you guys think that was a deterrence from at least the Twitter population that saw those, or people on Reddit? I mean, wherever it was disseminated. I mean, do you think that could have deterred people? Because there were definitely no leaks, as far as I know, for Force Awakens, correct? And I don't know
right.
anything, maybe necessarily. I don't think there were for Last Jedi.
What were the leaks? Like what was
The
leaked?
whole plot. Zach and I were talking about this too
Yeah,
last week.
the
I
whole
can't
thing
remember what
leaked.
exactly was leaked. It was everything.
The whole script. Like somebody, I believe, I think it was like John Boyega or somebody, like he left his script somewhere, or like someone took his
No.
script or something like that. Or somebody's script got into the wrong hands, and then that person leaked the plot of the movie. And that was like the only leak I've ever read because I was so checked out at the time of the sequels, and I was like, well, screw it, I don't care, I'll read it. And then when I was watching the movie and Chewie died, I I was like, oh no, the leaks were real. The leaks were 100% real. Yep, it was John's.
I didn't know that. That stinks, because he's like one of the best things to come out of the sequel trilogy. That's oh, that's rough. I did not realize.
See ya, Sal.
Yeah, we're gonna close up soon here anyway.
Close up the shop.
Close
Now
up
that we're
shop.
all depressed that we're not getting. So when do y'all think, when are we even projected to get our next Star Wars theatrical release?
2025 was it?
Yeah, it's 2025. What are we? So it's 2 years from now. And then
Yeah.
and then some and change because it's probably not even gonna come out till the summer or winter. So
December probably the
Yeah.
way they've been doing it.
So basically 2026.
Yep.
so they're in conceptualizing ideas now, then pre-pro.
I mean,
Probably next year.
It's not inherently bad. The other takeaway I saw, I hear from what he's saying, maybe I'm just totally misinterpreting, which was to your point, Zach, like, yes, not that anybody was walking around hating Han Solo. He's by no means like the most hated character in this saga. If anything, he's extremely beloved and iconic. And many people, I think of Star Wars and immediately think of like Han Solo. But there was no need for a Han Solo movie necessarily. Like, I take that as they're really looking internally, really thinking about like, let's get this right. What do people want to see? Let's just not go willy-nilly, going crazy, trying to make a movie of every idea that we have. Like, let's really make this targeted and perfect. Like, which I respect. Like, if that's the direction we're going, and it's going to heighten the quality and epicness of the theatrical releases to come. Granted, there might be fewer, but I mean,
that would be amazing, right?
Right?
What if, like, in 4 years or however fucking long it's gonna be, we get it, and it's like the same type of feeling we have after waiting so long, right?
No, it can't
That would
be.
just like
It
that's when
has
we know
to
Star Wars
be.
is dead for us, right?
It has to be something ambitious and epic. It can't be, and this is why I wasn't too upset when Rogue Squadron was shelved. It's because that it would have been a cool movie, but would it have been the movie to bring Star Wars back after 5 years of absence at the big screen? Probably not.
It would be them trying to take money from the Top Gun audience, right? Like they saw Top Gun was successful, they're trying to get into that. It would just feel like, them trying to. It wouldn't feel like Star Wars. It would feel like a marketing move to target a new audience who likes that stuff, right? So it would be. I don't know.
Well, should we do the emoji rain and
On
then
that note,
head out?
Yeah, let's reset it.
All right.
let's get it ready.
Let's see when they can see it. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can they? I'm trying to check. Okay, it's up. All right, get ready, chat. Get your emojis ready.
Am I far when ready?
All right, do it. Do it.
Do it. Let's see. What emojis can I have access to? Whoa!
Oh my god!
Whoa.
It can't even
See
compute.
anything.
It
Poo-poo
can't
volcano.
even
See
compute.
them.
It's a poo-poo volcano. Look.
I don't. There's nothing on my screen for some. Oh, there we go.
Whoa,
Let's go, chat.
Whoa!
Fire dragon.
Oh my god!
Handicap.
We got handicap nuke.
Hazard.
We have a hazardous. No, we got medical grade weed for
We got nuclear grade weed.
nuclear grade weed. We have
sushi. Is that sushi?
Candles.
Yes.
we have candlelight sushi. Romantic. Who's the romantic
Oh.
here? Let's see who did that.
Rainbow. Yes. Volcanoes.
Trans pride, gay pride, cats,
Whoa.
robots, fire hearts, fireworks.
We are such children.
I think it doesn't like it when I do emojis.
Are you trying to send some?
Whoa!
Whoa!
Put a pin in it, guys. That's all I gotta say. Just put a pin in it.
Everyone send teeth. Wait, is there a tooth emoji?
Oh yes. Send
Yes.
Find teeth and send it.
We need to send tribute to the teeth gods so my mouth doesn't hurt
Sent
tonight.
one
So I can
tooth.
actually
There's a tooth. Oh, you sent a tooth from. I always get. It's always jarring when I see that I've commented.
It's like, whoops, what have I done?
Whoa, ADHD. Whoa.
Who's that? Who's
We got a
that
celebrity in
scrub?
chat. Celebrity in chat.
Mods, can we ban ADHD, please?
We just never-
Look at the
Hey,
teeth.
tooth gods. Pay tribute to the tooth gods.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what Alex is gonna be feeling. That's so funny.
No bueno, no bueno.
Everybody drop those skulls in chat to represent Alex's impending death.
I'm not gonna sleep
Oh.
tonight. I already know that. It's gonna suck. It's
Yeah,
gonna
you're-
suck.
This is the end for you, my master.
You underestimate my power. I have like the mouth. I have the whistling on. You underestimate my power.
You're my brother, and then you're just like,
they like pop out a tooth or something when I try to take them out.
You get lit on fire, but you're not even screaming about that. You're just like, my teeth hurt.
Oh, I know you're like.
Dying.
God.
Cat's dying.
It was said that you were supposed to have straight teeth, not pop them out of your mouth.
You were supposed to wear your retainer, not leave it in darkness.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Alright, everybody.
We kill Cat
This
every
was-
stream.
We kill Cat every stream. This has been the Evil Ewok podcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the emojis.
Will you
Alex-
kill Cat today?
Wish Alex a sleep-filled night, and we will see you on the next one. See you,
Later,
everybody.
guys.